wanted to do this documentary so people wouldn't have to always stare and take pictures, because we don't like when they take pictures, so they just knew who we are and stuff.
I'm on the right. Abby's on the right, and Brittany is on the left. Let's get that straight right now. That's important, right?
The shocking news hit like a lightning bolt. FBI agents have arrested Abby and Brittany Hensel, the famous conjoined twins, on charges of fraud. Wait, what? Fraud? The public has long known Abby and Brittany as inspiring figures, celebrated for their careers as teachers and their personal lives. So how could two women so committed to independence and positivity get caught up in something like this? What's really going on here? What could they have possibly done? Debunking the myths about Abby and Brittany. Despite the incredible lives Abby and Brittany Hensel have built, there has been no shortage of people who have questioned the authenticity of their condition, calling them a hoax or fraud. From the moment their story became public, critics have cast doubt on whether their conjoined state is real or simply a carefully crafted narrative for the sake of media attention. Some skeptics argue that the idea of two people sharing one body is too unbelievable, leading them to suggest that the entire story is exaggerated, if not entirely fabricated. One common accusation is that the Hensel's condition has been sensationalized for the cameras. With TLC's 2012 documentary series Abby and Brittany, which showcased their daily lives, came whispers of staged moments or exaggerated behaviors. Critics suggested that the twins' exceptional coordination and ability to live normal lives might have been overstated for entertainment value, questioning whether some scenes were manipulated for shock value or simply to generate more viewers. Medical experts and the public alike have also been quick to assume that such a rare condition couldn't possibly allow the twins to lead the lives they do. There have been suggestions that the twins' shared organs and physical coordination couldn't possibly allow them the independence they show in their appearances. This disbelief led to accusations of them being freaks or frauds. Perhaps the most damaging of these claims is that Abby and Brittany were being exploited for the sake of media spectacle. Some critics have claimed that the Hensels were encouraged to perform or act out in a way that played up their unusual condition, as if their identity was being monetized or fabricated for public consumption. These accusations not only undermine the legitimacy of their story, but also suggest a callous disregard for the challenges the twins face every day. However, medical records and testimony from professionals who've treated them firmly dismiss the hoax claims. Abby and Brittany's condition, known as dicephalic parapagus, the twins' ability to function independently, has been recognized by experts as a remarkable and rare medical reality, not a fabricated story. Their unique bond is one of natural synchronization, not something manufactured for a show. Still, the accusations linger, fed by ignorance and the tendency to dismiss what is hard to understand. But despite these claims, Abby and Brittany continue to live on their own terms, showing the world that they are far from being a hoax. They are real, they are remarkable, and they are not to be underestimated. So is their life really just a publicity stunt, or is there more truth than we even know? Who are these conjoined twins, and how did their incredible journey begin? The extraordinary birth of Abby and Brittany. On March 7, 1990, in a small town called New Germany, Minnesota, Patty and Mike Hensel welcomed not just one, but two daughters into the world, but in a way no one, not even the doctors, had expected. Conjoined twins Abby and Brittany Hensel were born with a rare condition known as dicephalic parapagus, meaning they share one body but have two heads. Their birth marked the beginning of an extraordinary journey filled with challenges, resilience, and sheer wonder. Patty Hensel, a registered nurse, and Mike Hensel, a carpenter and landscaper, had no idea during Patty's pregnancy that she was carrying conjoined twins. Ultrasounds during her pregnancy showed what appeared to be a single baby. So when Patty went into labor and gave birth via C-section, the sight of two perfectly formed heads sharing one body left everyone in the delivery room stunned.
They were telling me that when they were trying to pull them out, they felt an arm, and then they felt another arm, and then they felt what they thought was another arm. And then with pulling them out, they realized that they were conjoined twins.
For many parents, this moment might have been filled with fear and confusion, but Patty and Mike, despite the initial shock, immediately focused on their daughter's survival and well-being. Patty's medical background gave her some understanding of the challenges ahead, while Mike's steady, supportive nature provided strength for the whole family. They didn't hesitate to embrace the unknown future, determined to give Abby and Brittany the best lives possible. Conjoined twins are rare, occurring in about 1 in 200,000 live births, and their survival rate is even lower. The condition of Abby and Brittany dicephalic parapagus is even more unusual, making their case one of extreme medical rarity. In this condition, twins share a single torso and set of limbs, but have separate heads, brains, hearts, and spinal cords. The odds of surviving birth, let alone thriving afterward, were incredibly slim. Doctors at Mayo Clinic faced a dilemma. Should they attempt to separate the twins or allow them to remain conjoined? In many cases, separation is considered to improve quality of life, but for Abby and Brittany, the risks were far too high. Their shared vital organs, including their liver, rib cage, and digestive system, meant that a successful separation would be nearly impossible. Any attempt could leave one or both girls disabled or worse, take their lives. Patty and Mike made the brave decision to let their daughters remain together. It was a choice rooted in love, hope, and the belief that their girls could overcome the odds. Together. Abby and Brittany's early years were filled with challenges, but they quickly proved to be resilient, determined, and above all, incredibly synchronized. While they share one body, each twin controls one side. Abby controls the right arm and leg, while Brittany controls the left. Simple tasks like crawling, walking, or picking up toys required an almost uncanny level of cooperation. Yet despite these complexities, the girls adapted remarkably well. By their first birthday, they were crawling in perfect harmony. By the time they were toddlers, they were walking, running, and playing like any other children. Their coordination seemed almost instinctive, a testament to their incredible bond and determination. Their personalities began to emerge too. Abby is known for being more assertive and energetic, while Brittany is more laid back and thoughtful. Though they share a body, they are very much two distinct individuals with their own preferences, dreams, and ideas. Early on, they learned how to compromise, negotiate, and respect each other's boundaries, lessons that many adults struggle with. Growing up in a small, close-knit community in Minnesota worked in the Hensel family's favor. Friends, neighbors, and classmates embraced Abby and Brittany for who they were. The girls attended the local school and participated in activities just like any other children. They learned to swim, ride bikes, and play sports, always finding creative ways to work together. Patty and Mike made it a point to raise their daughters without special treatment or unnecessary limitations. The twins were encouraged to be independent, face challenges head-on, and develop their own interests. This approach paid off as Abby and Brittany grew into confident, capable young girls. Their story captured the attention of the world when they appeared on The Oprah Winfrey Show in 1996. People were fascinated not just by their medical condition, but by their infectious joy, humor, and determination to live life to the fullest. Of course, not everything was easy. The twins faced curious stares, invasive questions, and moments of frustration. Patty and Mike taught their daughters to educate others with patience and humor, turning awkward situations into opportunities for understanding. As they grew older, Abby and Brittany faced new challenges, learning to drive, navigating teenage life, and thinking about their future careers. Their bond, forged from the moment they shared their first breath, continues to be their greatest strength. The birth and early life of Abby and Brittany Hensel remind us that the human spirit is capable of incredible resilience. Their story is one of defying odds, embracing differences, and finding strength in unity. Patty and Mike Hensel's decision to support their daughters with love and courage laid the foundation for a life that continues to inspire millions. But despite being symbols of resilience and inspiration, Abby and Brittany have faced relentless media scrutiny and hate. How could two girls who beat impossible odds be met with such cruelty? Some people only saw their differences, hurling insults and prying questions. Yet instead of breaking, they smiled, laughed, and turned ignorance into lessons. The Hensel twins and public judgment. Abby and Brittany Hensel, who have been in the public eye since childhood, have faced relentless media scrutiny and online hate despite their inspiring resilience. Growing up conjoined twins, they've never shied away from sharing their lives, but the spotlight hasn't always been kind. Their journey, marked by curiosity, awe, and sometimes admiration, is often clouded by invasive questions, wild rumors, and blatant disrespect. But all this isn't new for them. The Hensel twins have always been open about how uncomfortable it made them when people took pictures without asking, laughed at them, or stared for no reason. They faced constant objectification, reduced to a spectacle. While it affected their self-esteem, it also strengthened their resolve to establish boundaries and live on their own terms. From the time they appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show as 6-year-olds, their story was met with a mix of fascination and misunderstanding. How do they date? What about intimacy? Can they have children? These questions weren't always asked with genuine curiosity. They were often laced with judgment and discomfort. But the internet can be ruthless. In March 2024, when news of Abby's marriage to Josh Bowling, a nurse and Army veteran, spread online, the twins faced a storm of hate and offensive speculation. Critics and trolls questioned the legitimacy of their relationship, with some spreading false information about their personal lives, including fabricated posts that were quickly debunked. The sisters took to TikTok to address the backlash, calling out their haters with a clear message. If you're watching their every move just to criticize, you're still a fan in disguise. The online rumor mill also fuels bizarre controversies. Wild claims about their private lives have circulated, often completely unsubstantiated. Some question whether Abby and Brittany share their consciousness or have separate thoughts, a misunderstanding that persists despite their repeated clarifications that they are two distinct people with their own minds and desires. The scrutiny didn't stop at their personal choices. Even their professional lives as teachers drew suspicion, with some parents irrationally questioning their ability to handle a classroom together. Why does the world struggle to let them live? Perhaps because Abby and Brittany defy conventional narratives about individuality, identity, and independence. Their existence challenges comfort zones, and some react with fear or hostility rather than acceptance and empathy. The twins, however, have shown incredible grace in the face of relentless pressure. Despite everything, they remain determined to live life on their terms, continually reminding the world that they are not a curiosity to be dissected, but two strong, capable women. In the face of endless scrutiny and hate, Abby and Brittany seem to ask us all the same question. When will the world stop judging what it doesn't understand? Is Abby and Brittany's story staged? Abby and Brittany Hensel's lives have been documented in various media, most notably in their Channel 5 documentary series, The Twins Who Share a Body, which captured their lives as they approached adulthood. Since their early appearances, like on the Oprah Winfrey Show, the Hensel twins have been thrust into the spotlight, both inspiring admiration and facing intense scrutiny. However, their visibility has not shielded them from criticism and speculation, particularly around the authenticity of their documentaries. The documentary format, which shows Abby and Brittany navigating their daily lives, has sparked controversy, with critics questioning whether the show is scripted or manipulated for dramatic effect. Some viewers have speculated that certain situations might have been staged to enhance the narrative or cater to the public's fascination with conjoined twins. The expectation for reality TV to deliver a certain level of drama can sometimes blur the line between genuine storytelling and entertainment. These critiques often arise from the awkward balance between showcasing the Hensel twins' unique experiences and maintaining a sense of respect for their privacy. As public figures, Abby and Brittany have consistently faced invasive questions about their personal lives, such as how they handle relationships and whether they share a consciousness. These queries often reveal an unsettling curiosity about their intimate dynamics, which many perceive as objectification rather than genuine inquiry. For instance, when Abby married Josh Bowling, a nurse and Army veteran, in 2021, it reignited the conversation about the logistics of relationships for conjoined twins, with social media flooded by questions and theories about how their marriage works legally and personally. Moreover, the criticisms extend to their professional lives. The public's fascination with their ability to teach as a pair, for example, has led some parents to question whether they can effectively manage a classroom despite the twins' demonstrated independence and success. The documentary only intensified these conversations, with some viewers insisting that the twins' professional and personal challenges are exaggerated for the sake of television drama. The issue of whether their stories are staged is particularly charged, given how rare and unique the twins' situation is. Their existence challenges many conventional ideas of individuality and identity, making their every move a subject of intense public interest. Critics of reality TV often accuse producers of exploiting the twins' story, emphasizing their condition over their individuality and focusing more on spectacle than authenticity. However, Abby and Brittany have expressed that they have the power to control their narrative and have regularly addressed these concerns through platforms like TikTok, where they have confronted negative comments and made it clear that they are not simply a curiosity to be consumed. Despite the controversy, Abby and Brittany have consistently shown remarkable resilience, pushing back against the critics and continuing to live life on their terms. Their decision to marry and maintain professional careers as teachers, alongside their participation in documentaries, shows that while the world might be fascinated with their lives, they are determined to lead lives that are meaningful to them, free from the constraints of public perception. The scrutiny they face is not uncommon for public figures, but for the Hensel twins, it is a constant reminder of the challenges of living with a condition that makes them the subject of fascination and misunderstanding. However, the twins have an unwavering faith that surprises everyone. Despite the constant scrutiny and invasive questions, Abby and Brittany have always believed in the power of love and personal agency. Their relationship with each other, as well as with others, has shown that they are capable of living full, independent lives. This faith was evident when Abby made the bold decision to marry Josh Bowling, something that shocked many but perfectly aligned with their desire to define their own story. Abby's marriage and the twins' life after it. Abby Hensel's marriage to Josh Bowling in 2021 was a moment of both joy and deep curiosity. After spending most of their lives under the media's relentless gaze, Abby and Brittany Hensel, the famous conjoined twins, finally revealed a more personal moment: Abby's wedding. But of course, the public reaction wasn't as simple as congratulations. The world had more questions than answers. How would this work with Abby and Brittany being joined? Would the twins' relationship dynamics change? The world was desperate for answers, and Abby and Brittany were ready to share their truth. The twins, known for their candidness, had long shared their lives with the public, but marriage was different. Abby and Josh's relationship was private for a while, only coming to light in 2024 when they posted photos of their wedding on TikTok. In those pictures, Abby wore a stunning wedding gown, standing next to Josh, a U.S. Army veteran and nurse looking every bit the happy bride. As exciting as it was to see Abby's big day, it opened the floodgates to a fresh wave of curiosity and some invasive questions. How would this affect Brittany? What about Abby's love life would be different now? Some people couldn't seem to grasp how this would work with the twins' unique bond. The truth is, Abby and Brittany have always been independent in many ways. Yes, they share a body, but they have always had their own minds, desires, and needs. So when Abby tied the knot, the world watched closely, asking questions like, how will the twins navigate their love lives? It didn't take long for people to start speculating. Could Brittany also find love of her own? Or was Abby's marriage a sign of things changing between the two? While many celebrated Abby's marriage, others seemed stuck on the question of how they would both continue to share everything, from love lives to daily routines. But here's the kicker. Abby and Brittany have been defying these questions for years. For decades, the twins have been in the spotlight, starting with their appearance on The Oprah Winfrey Show in 1996, followed by their TLC reality series Abby and Brittany in 2012. Throughout this, they've dealt with their fair share of public speculation, people questioning their ability to live independently, date, or even handle their day-to-day lives as teachers. But with Abby's wedding, one thing became abundantly clear. The twins were not going to let the public's curiosity dictate their lives. They were still going to do things their way. Even after Abby's marriage, their relationship has remained as strong as ever. Brittany, as expected, hasn't been left out. The two have proven time and time again that they are a package deal, and no amount of public curiosity will change that. Brittany still plays a central role in Abby's life, just as Abby does in Brittany's. They're two individuals who support each other unconditionally, and their bond is only strengthened in the face of this new chapter. While their physical connection is unique, the emotional one they share is just like any other sibling bond, unbreakable and rooted in love. Now, life after the wedding is more about continuing to break stereotypes than answering the world's questions. Both Abby and Brittany have continued their work as teachers in Minnesota, showing everyone that their professional lives are as fulfilling as anyone else's. Despite their differences, they manage a classroom just like any other educators. The questions about how they function at work or in everyday life don't faze them. The twins are not defined by their conjoined bodies. They are individuals who've chosen to work, love, and live independently, regardless of their unique situation. As for Abby and Josh's marriage, while it's a significant step for Abby, it also shows that Abby and Brittany's lives are ever evolving. Their shared life hasn't stopped them from moving forward or changing as people. Abby's marriage is just one part of their larger journey, and it's only strengthened their determination to live on their terms. The fact that Abby and Josh are in a successful, loving relationship while still keeping their bond with Brittany intact proves that love can come in many forms. The world will likely continue to question how things work for Abby and Brittany. But no matter how many questions are asked, one thing remains clear. They are sisters, they are individuals, and they are more than capable of leading fulfilling, independent lives. Abby's marriage to Josh is proof that they aren't confined to the expectations the world places on them. Instead, they are living life in their own way, loving who they choose and teaching others to do the same. In the end, Abby and Brittany's story is about more than just their conjoined existence. It's about showing the world that love, independence, and happiness can exist for anyone, regardless of how different they may seem. So what do you think? Are Abby and Brittany truly living their lives authentically, or is there something more behind their story? Do you believe the accusations, or do you think they've been misunderstood? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more amazing content. Thanks for watching.